Every day, you're collecting millions of valuable data points. Dashboards are helpful in visualizing some of these points, but often it's hard to know what's important. At a glance, you can see when something changes, but not always why. Sisu is a complement to traditional BI tools by shining a light on critical facts you might otherwise miss. Let's take a look. Imagine I want to understand if balances in this retail banking dataset are flat for all customers, or if there are certain groups whose balance is increasing or decreasing. When you look at a typical dashboard like this one, it looks like balances are flat over time. But is that true for non-loyalty members? What about non-loyalty members with just basic checking? To find out, I have to slice and dice one factor at a time and wait for the dashboard to slowly refresh. And even after I drill down, it's often hard to see what's really changed in the data. That's why analysts choose Sisu. Sisu complements your dashboards by quickly and comprehensively analyzing millions of hypotheses to surface every factor driving the change in your metrics. Let's take a look at that same dataset in Sisu and see if we can find the factors impacting our balance metric. We start by identifying the metric that matters to us, average balance over time. Then we click Get the Facts, and Sisu begins hypothesis testing. Just like the dashboard we started from, Sisu shows the average current balance across all accounts is relatively flat. But behind the scenes, Sisu has calculated 404.3 million combinations in the data. Or in other words, it's tested about 404.3 million hypotheses in a few seconds. And it brings back a list of facts explaining which subpopulations support the average balance and which are dragging it down. Let's look at this top fact in more detail by clicking into the Fact Detail page. Immediately, we can see Sisu surfaces a fact the dashboards didn't show. Where customer tier equals silver, using the app sign-up promotion in December, the average current balance increased by 7.3 month over month, from a little under $10,000 to over $71,000. This increased the overall average balance by over $8,000. In other words, without this spike in this particular subpopulation, the overall average balance for this month would have declined even further, to $36,000 instead of $44,800. If we scroll further down the fact detail page, we can see why something spiked and even compare it to the other subpopulations and facts that are just like it. And because we've looked through all 404.3 million combinations in the data, you can also click into the factors you might care about the most, like the city branch. You can explore each of these facts in turn and their fact detail pages without rerunning the analysis. The best part is that with a modern cloud warehouse, you can just subscribe and get alerted on the most important insights on a regular basis. Sisu is the fastest path to understanding why, letting you answer every question and inform every decision with data.